Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. Today, we are going to be not catching up, but being far from catching up. I guess that's what you say. To sit up there and do our homework and be already caught up plus some, dim some. And I wanted to share that with you guys. And I'm a little drained. I've been moving around in the heat all day. Excuse me, all day. But, we're going to make it happen, and hopefully we'll see what we can get done today. It seems exciting what I have to do. Hopefully it's not too hard. So all my paperwork is over there. How nice is that? So if I need to write down something, I'm just going to choose a blank sheet of paper. Okay, so let's get started, y'all. I don't like to do any talking when I'm doing my homework, and I hashtag people. So let's get started. Lots of reading, and I hope you enjoy. Here we go. So, Project 3, Refining Your Leadership Style. I have some paper. Hold on. Let's kind of like put this. Ah! Sorry, y'all. There we go. Take a little notey note. Refining your leadership style. Step 4. Prepare oral responses for mock interview. Question set 2. Your M2M transition coach, Pella, has scheduled a virtual meeting with you to do a mock interview in which you will give verbal responses to interview questions. In this step, you will prepare your responses, and we're going to do it where I open up an MP3 on StreamYard where it's just my voice talking, because it's not like it's a bunch of people around me making noises, popping bubblegum and stuff. We're just going to do it that way so you can hear what I have to say. So in this step, you will prepare your responses to be recorded later. Huh? Hold up. Excuse me for a second. Oh, for step 5. You received the following assignment details. Subject, mock interview question set 2. As I'm sure you're aware, not all interviews allow for written responses. In fact, most interviews will involve some sort of oral communication. You must be able to create clear oral messages that convey your thoughts and ideas. To that end, you will continue your mock interview by verbally responding to a situation and related questions. Okay, got that part. Consider the following scenario. While managing a project, you notice some important deadlines have not been met. As a result of the missed deadline, your organization is at risk of losing funding for the project. Uh-oh, we can't have losing money. You know how Washington State is losing money right now. We got to make amends and go in a bipartisan way, but I guess they don't want to. As a leader in this organization, describe the actions you would take to address this problem in a proper accountability, honesty, and transparency. It's like clear, straightforward messages. Although you will have to respond verbally, take some time to now draft responses to the scenario as well as these follow-up questions that you might expect an interview to ask about. Number 1, which decision can be made quickly and which ones take more time? So short and long term, like decisions, that is, not goals. What is the process you use to make decisions in uncertain circumstances and why? How do you process your decision-making skills in uncertain circumstances and why? How would you strike a balance between information gathering and analysis and moving forward with urgency? How will you have a balance between, come on, gathering the information you need and analyzing it and moving forward in a faster, more proficient way? What is your process for analyzing the problem or conflict in a preparation for action? Hold on, they got me with that one, you guys. I don't know it all. What is your, I guess I have to say process because I don't know another word for process. It's not goals. So it could be used as goals, but they're two different things. You know, process is a way it's your stamp. You know, a process is your stamp of what you do for analyzing a problem or conflict in a preparation for preparing for action. How do you prioritize tasks when addressing diverse problems? How do you prioritize? How do you got that big old board with sticky notes or notes tatted, not tatted as a tattoo, but tacked in where it shows different different urgencies and stuff, and you got this on this side and you got that on that side showing maybe the left side has more urgency, you got this, that, bubbles, and or you just got it in black and white, black ink and a whiteboard, and you got, well, this is urgent and this is not urgent. Sort of like somewhat of a SWOT, strength, weaknesses. I forgot the other one, and threats. Let's look it up real quick. I always miss the other one. SWOT. Let me try to guess it. Before I look at it, I want to guess it. I never can make it. I always mess up. Opportunities. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my freaking God. I should have known that. What methods would you use to ensure that priorities and objectives are clear and are being addressed? So on the left, you have priorities that we need to do this way with this part of the left-hand board because these objectives are more clear. And what methods would you use to address those major issues so you won't lose the funding? As you revise the answer you have drafted, make sure you answer you that you what? Make sure that you answers Ooh, they messed up right there. It should be your answers. Make sure your answers reflect your ability to do the following. Use evidence in your decisions. Yes. And address situations where evidence is lacking. So use evidence in your decision. So for instance, I hate to use the FBI, but I done watched enough cop and FBI videos, especially that helicopter video with Mark Wahlberg wearing the bald-headed wig. That was pretty funny. It was a good show though. But anyway, let's say for instance, you're trying to catch a guy. You got on the left-hand side the pros, the cons, the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats. The pros and the cons. Okay. Now, this evidence might be this person always carries weapons. Let's say this person always carries weapons. How do we work out that's a weakness? That's strength, weakness, opportunities, threat. That's a threat. That's a threat. And a strength is they always go to court, like I've seen on TV, without their weapons. I'm just going by the playbook of what happened with one scenario. They always go to court without their weapon, but they leave it in the car. So that's a weakness of theirs. Now, a strength is that the police will have to have a SWAT, because if they walk to the car too soon, it will possibly be a kerfuffle with a shootout. So they basically have to stop him while he's in that courthouse without a weapon. So it'll probably be 3 or 4 officers. I hope I answered that right. Your evidence and decision address the situations where evidence is lacking. We don't know whether this person has help on the outside looking for a truck, a SWAT truck, or not, to call him while he's in court. You know how they do things illegally anyway. So why don't they just give him a call or a text, and he's looking at his phone anyway, even though the phone's supposed to be shut down and turned off while in court. Case timely decisions. Case timely decisions is the best available information and make decisions in uncertain circumstances. This is a hard one. Okay. So they want you to put it in a case, timely decisions that are timely, such as we need time. We have to have time to make this decision to catch this person. So you put it in like a case zone. Well, we need at least 60 days to sit up there and catch this guy because we need to learn his routine first on the best available information, which is we've been watching him, but we don't know his routine, and make decisions in uncertain circumstances, which my fallen FBI agents, I don't know what made me stumble across the page. I don't know what made me stumble across the page at all, but it is so many FBI agents in the 90s, all the way up into down into 1923 that actually passed away, you know, from crooks and robbers and all that. Just sad, sad, sad. RIP to them. Apply legal and ethical reasoning in your decision making. Legal, which I just did. Ethical, we have to do this by law, because if we don't do it by law, then the case will be just thrown out in your decision making. Strike a balance between information gathering and analysis in order to move forward with urgency. Information gathering. You got to get the information and watch the people that you need to watch and learn their routine. And analysis. Analyze the whole project, the whole system, and see what you can get. Does he sometimes leave his gun? See, I don't know if y'all got this system, but y'all need to have something where y'all can tell, y'all must have it, whether a criminal have a gun in his car. That is the system that y'all need to have. AI technology, where y'all can tell whether a criminal have a weapon in their car based on how you get them out the car. That will reduce the number of police, FBI, even CIA agents die, you know, even though they roll deep, you know, like seriously. Analyze a problem or conflict in preparation for action. They could run, like the judge that allowed one inmate to run out the back door. Prioritize decisions and tasks when addressing diverse problems. We made the decision. This is all fiction. I hope I said that right, because I get confused when I say fiction and nonfiction. This is all like non-factual, should I say. It's just made up stuff. So prioritize decisions and tasks when addressing diverse problems. So the decision is clear. You will make the decision to go off and meet this guy in court, but you will have to have a certain task. Each officer has a certain task when addressing this problem, this multitasking, this multi-diverse problem. Ensure that priorities and objectives are clear and being addressed. Priorities. You have priorities, which each and every person have a priority and objective. And that they have to be clear, because one wrong move and something can go wrong. Distinguish between attainable and unattainable solutions, between critical and less critical activities. It's attainable that you can arrest them in court, but it will be unattainable if I'm just speaking fictionally or non-factual. It would be unattainable if we cannot reach him when he gets to the car. If he runs to the car, if they see a truck out there that's a police truck, they can alert him and he can go out another door, and it's only a squad of, let's say, 4, you know, like it would be critical. And less critical activities would be to be at the courthouse already, talking to the judge that he is going to be, where he's going to be, you know, and have that judge understand that they are not in charge of everything. They just need to let them abide by the law and respect federal rules. Other things to keep in mind in your responses: take time for personal reflection to gain self-awareness and understanding of what drives your decisions. Personal reflection. Wow, why is this hard? Personally reflect upon yourself to gain self-awareness, which is to oh my God. Oh my God. Personal reflection is to reflect upon your personal, the things that you do personally. Self-awareness is to be aware of oneself, and it goes deeper than that. An understanding of what drives your decisions. If you get into that courthouse and you start acting a certain way outside of what was practiced, your personal reflection and your self-awareness sometimes have to be pushed down to get the job done as the officer that you are. That's why you see a lot of numb officers. They be so numb. You be like, hi. They be like, hard. I be like, what? I be like, what? They be like, what? Think about your results of your multi-factor leadership questionnaire, which I have the results from Project 2, and how you can accentuate your strengths to reinforce your answers. I know my strengths. Considering some of your own experiences and duties, how did you respond? Like crap. How did you respond, and what were the outcomes? I'm so glad I learned like at 37 on 7/3 for some reason on July. I didn't even know I turned 37 on 7/3 till to some, I don't even want to get into it. Some woman with very slither tattoos. It's not plural, it's singular. She had two, well, it's plural, two wings on the back of her back, and it was very slimly drawn on there, like to the T, man. Whoever did an excellent job. There was no mess up on it, there was no coloring of it. It was just on there as wings. And she was like, I hope this is the right story. She actually helped me see stuff. And then I was like, oh, I turned 37 on 7/3. I said, there has to be some type of math specialty when people turn, mirror images of each other, you know. So she was a white lady. And then she got kicked out the shelter, and so did I. Let's see. Upping your interviewing game. It's an article from Career Connection, a blog maintained by the Office of Career Services. And you know what was so unique about this shelter? People kept coming up to me telling me that they seen other areas. You know how you got Area 51? People's like, I don't even remember the areas they were talking about, but I looked them up. When it comes to my mind and it just pops in my mind, something told me to look it up. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm off subject, but I have to say this. Something told me to look it up, so I looked up different areas, and it's all across the globe that they got these deep. Never mind. I'm on TikTok. There's some tunnels that connect to each other. Okay. Upping Your Interview Game is an article from Career Connection, a blog maintained by the Office of Career Services. I don't need that one. When does practice a specific type of interview question. I think I gotta make the questions. Hold up. Let's see if I want to see what she put. What she says first. Oh God. Once you reviewed the questions from earlier steps and rehearsed your verbal responses, you attend your mock interview with Pella. So those are the questions. I am going with the oil or the gasoline company. What is that company called again? I gotta go all the way back. Marathon Petroleum. Is that oil or gasoline? Let me look up. I forgot. Marathon Petroleum. Oil. Okay. It's so far, man. It goes from country to country. So many treaties, so many tariffs. It's little old tariffs within the different countries, that once this oil hits this country, it costs so many tariffs from bringing goods into the country, taking goods out of the country, looking through the goods, making sure that they're safe and not like the goods that were overseas and exploded, randomly exploded, just so many things. Where am I at? Oh, leading across organizations. Your unique professional path has led you to pursue a postgraduate degree in transformational leadership. You likely have acquired valuable leadership skills from your previous experience. Here you will begin the journey that will optimize your strengths as a leader while also fostering new ones. As you think about moving into the civilian workforce, you will need to consider organizational sectors that exist outside of the military and the differences between them. The first assignment in this course requires you to understand the concept of leadership, how it differs across organizational sectors, and its relationship to the culture of an organization. Let me read that quietly alone. That's true. But everybody has developed, even in raising kids, transactional leadership. Every parent is a transactional leadership parent. Unless you know this stuff and you know how to be a transformational leader. Transactional leadership is when they do good, you get praise. When they do bad, you give punishment. That's even in the workplace. They said the concept of leadership and how it differs from organizational sectors. There is probably 10% of sectors that performs and really want to keep in the family transformational leadership in its culture of an organization. I don't know. In this project, you will master how leadership takes place within non-military organization and most effective leadership styles for the organization sectors and in the civilian workforce. And the most effective leadership styles for organizational sectors and the civilian workforce. Like, for instance, Girl Scouts, which is, I always forget. That's why it's repetition. Is, I think it's nonprofit. Girl Scouts. It is a nonprofit. Girl Scouts is nonprofit. NHI, National Institute of Health, is government. And petroleum is for profit, the one that I'm going to choose. So, in nonprofit, I forgot where I was going with this. You, especially working with little children, you have transformational leadership. They teach you how to do, they're teaching, and that's such a good thing. They're teaching children how to perform transformational leadership. But when they finally get into the perfect job, they're taught transactional leadership. And they have to go with it or they lose that big special job they worked so ever hard to get. And it all stems from jobs like McDonald's, Burger King, Captain D's. Oh, I wish I had some Captain D's right now. Like fish and chips and I'm sorry. I'm getting off subject. So, different restaurants and then it graduates to places like the AT&T distribution center where you're a call center agent, and then it graduates to being a counselor. It all undertakes transactional leadership. Even when they try to pretend like they're performing transformational, motivating you to want to be and move into that better path, they're more worried about whether you're going to take their job or not. So they love that position and they love to keep people below them. And they love to hire and fire. You will also explore various roles and leaders that leaders take on within organizations operating in domestics, which is here, and global, which is around the world markets. At the end of this project, you will submit an organizational scan consisting of your organizational what? I am so glad I'm doing this now. Your organizational matrix. Your first deliverable for the project, which will be included as an appendix. Here we go. Maybe he wrote something about this. Strategic relationship summary. Oh, at the end of this project, this whole third project, I was about to say, is it better be at the end of this project, because I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, yeah. Sometimes they get this part wrong. It's not my teacher fault. Is it's the way they got it set up, the structure of it. Completing this project will demonstrate your ability to apply knowledge about the advantages and challenges of different organizational sectors. This project is designed to be completed in 3 weeks. Please read the following scenario, then begin step 1. Distinguish between sectors of organizations. Which one is, oh my God, I'm reading number 1. Oh my God, I should have caught on. I did it already. These are confusing, just like I said. Record your mock interview. Here we go. I already listened to her. I had to go back and look at that one thing for petroleum oil, and that's what really got me confused. Submit your audio file containing its responses. Please be sure to specify which job posting you are responding to. In the next step, you will explore how your skills align with the needs of your field. Okay, let me go here. June 3rd. Oh, shoot. I hate this thing. I don't. Ugh. Sorry, God. This thing is crazy. It's June 3rd. Let me see if he written some. May 28th. He wrote this. For this week, what I would like you to think about is this, and it ties directly with step 7. Is what inspires you. We've all experienced different types of leadership, and we have had some good discussions on that so far. However, think about how you can filter out things that leaders or mentors have done to inspire you, and how you can transform that into motivation. That's what I do basically. I gather all I've learned out the course of, dang, gone it, a long time. I just can't go to doctorate school, y'all. It's too hard. I took one class, got an A in it. I made my mark. Anybody that can surpass that, oh well. I give it to them. I give them a clap and a tip of the hat. That's it. However, think about how you can filter out these things that leaders or mentors have done to inspire you and how you can transform that into motivation for your subordinates and peers. Your action plan. Did I skip one? I am behind. I am behind. He did say that last time. Hold on. Let me go to announcements. So yeah. Okay. So he said he'll have it knocked out this weekend, by this weekend. So please get caught up ASAP. Okay. Let me do this real quick. He put both things together, which I'm not mad at, and he's gonna be grading it this weekend. And it's not an A or B thing, it's a pass or fail, it's a pass or redo it thing. For this week, what I have for you to think about, we are gonna be grinding on Monday. And then I have two things to do. Oh my God, how is this gonna end on the 20th? This is moving it. This has only been the first week. Hold up. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. We just let ourselves in. I forgot that commercial. Let's see. Syllabus. Because it ends on the 24th. What? I don't want to go there. When stuff look weird, I stay away. Class project. I am missing a project, so that's why I should have more points. Good. Okay. I'm trying to figure out. Let me look at the calendar. Go to calendar. And then look at the class list. So this is the 29th. Oh, it's a milestone. So we're going to have some discussions coming up in between that time. That's how we're going to do it. No, where am I going? Simon's. He hasn't He hasn't graded it yet. He's giving me some time. I am going to complete all of these this week coming up, and then I'll do the discussions as we go along. It's supposed to be, that's worth 3 weeks. So mock interview. I'm taking it that the questions that are in the fourth section of project 3 are the questions that they want us to ask. They don't say whether, let's go back. Go back. Whew. Prepare oral responses for interview questions. What? Okay, let's go here. First, we're going to go to all three. That URL is not found. I'll do that when I'm offline. Damn it. Oh, they killing me. Okay, that didn't work. Keep reading it. Although you will have to respond verbally, take some time to draft responses to the scenario as well as these following that you might expect an interview to act about. Okay. If they start acting funny, please don't show my stuff. Oh my God, man. How you gotta show all this? There is no skip button. I'll do this offline. So what they want me to do is make how many questions. They don't even say how long it's supposed to be. It's not good. Draft responses, which is verbally, to the scenario, as well as these follow-up questions that you might expect the interview to ask about. So I'm taking it that these are the questions. I'm gonna go with this because it doesn't say, it says, although you respond verbally. Yes, we know we're going to respond verbally. Take some time to draft responses, which I did. Draft the responses verbally to the scenario, as well as these follow-up questions that you might expect an interview to ask about, which is this. Okay, we're going to do it. Let's make sure everything is correct. Go to StreamYard, do an MP3 and send it to the big guy. Shoot. class lists. No. Assignments. What is it called so I can write it? Mock interview recording. So it's Cloud K. Mock interview recording. MP3. It has to be MP3. What I'm on is an MP4. Mock interview recording MP3. I don't need to be on a camera. Okay. I'm just going to record it. Not yet. I have to figure out. I have to do it afterwards. I'm going to stop cam. Add to stage. You are in a stream with audio only. Good. Okay. 3. Oh no, we don't need an intro. That's like so showboating. If I take it off, I'm gonna have to re-put it on. StreamYard is getting really huge, man. They doing big things though, I have to admit. Record. 3, 2, 1. Hi, I am doing this for Dr. Perry, and this is the mock interview recording MP3. I would like to say that I am going over the questions right now as we speak. Give me just a second to pull up the questions. I apologize for the delay. I had to get it all started. So, okay, let's get started. Petroleum, Marathon Petroleum. So they are a for-profit organization, hugely known, widely known. And so I'm going to answer the questions to my best of my ability to go towards Marathon Petroleum. Okay. Which decisions can be made quickly and which ones take more time? I'm answering the questions that is on part 4 or step 4, prepare oral responses for mock interview question set 2, because I'm having trouble, a little bit of trouble, and I'm online already with looking at interview resources because I went through them already and I verbally spoke about them already. So let's just get started on it. So which decisions can be made quickly and which ones take more time? So Marathon Petroleum is a for-profit type of energy solution, and it's growing, and it reduces carbon emissions intensely. And basically, if it had issues, the decisions that they go through is, what oil can go through which banks at what time. Like, what is open, what needs maintenance and what needs to be closed or opened, or, however it happens. So give me just a second, sir. So basically, they have to make sure that it's safely and reliably operating thousands of miles. It's thousands of miles of pipeline. And these pipelines go through different, it has crude oil and it goes through different countries, and these countries pay tariffs, but I don't want to talk about that part. I want to talk about the question that you asked me, which is the decisions to be made quickly is if a bank of crude oil, something gets stuck or something happens where a part of the bank messes up, then you have to get fast on it, because this crude oil goes across the United States and I believe into Canada. And I just want to, it goes down to like El Paso, Texas, and it goes a lot of different places, and it's 3 million barrels of crude oil. And with that much crude oil, I know it goes into Canada because I looked it up before, and I looked it up before, and these pipelines go into different places, and it works together, and that's why you need a clear bank. So the short-term goal, like I said, is to make sure that the short-term decision goals is to make sure that the banks are clear. And the ones that take more time is when there's some type of long-term issue with the banks, like something is not closing right and they can't just go in and fix it quickly. They would have to shut down a part like hundreds of miles worth of bank and fix that, clear it out and fix it, and run the crude oil again. And so those are the ones that take more time. What is the process you use to make decisions in uncertain circumstances, and why? What is the process you use to make decisions? Well, the process I use to make decisions about Marathon Petroleum is that I make sure that I have decisions based on the criteria of work each sector of company does inside of the pyramid of employers of our company. I make decisions in uncertain circumstances, how do I do that is I analyze what I'm doing. I analyze and I provide a pro and con, and I look up the SWOT. Um, I make sure that I look up SWOT. And when I look up SWOT, I can be able to understand, what's going on with the strengths of the company of Marathon Petroleum, the weaknesses of what's going on with Marathon Petroleum, the opportunities and the threats. So this way, in uncertain circumstances, um, I can use an analytic process to weigh the good with the bad and use long-term and short-term goals also. So that's my process that I use to make decisions in certain circumstances. Like, what if we lose money because one of the banks isn't open? Well, I would look at SWOT and long-term and short-term decisions of how we can make sure that bank gets open. How would you strike a balance between information gathering and analysis and moving forward towards with urgency? I would make sure I gather the information, like you have to gather information. For example, I'm going to use that example with all these questions, which is gather the information that, hey, look, the bank is closed. Something, a freak accident happened without anybody getting hurt, and the bank is horrifically damaged because, it's been running for like 15 years, the crude oil out of that specific sector of that bank. And then we analyze exactly how we're going to fix that bank. We analyze how we're going to fix the 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 bank and how we're going to do it. Just like I said in the previous question, we analyze. If we don't analyze these things, we can't come to a conclusion of what part of the process will work and what part of the process won't work and what part of the process could work, and what if it happens this way, what if it happens that way. We need urgency. Moving forward with urgency means that we need it done in 6 months. Let's say it takes a year and we want it done in 6 months. We'll find, what if we fix it this way? What if, because it's closing off all the other banks. That means that it's closing off all the other banks. So we need to move forward with urgency, which means we'll get more men on a job, which means that we'll make sure that more men is working to provide efficiency and prolong longevity to the process of making this company and making the actual banks work quickly. That's the only problem. That's the only mission, is to keep the banks open, because without the banks we have no crude oil, which means a lot of people are gonna be mad because we're a for-profit. A lot of corporate places. What is your process for analyzing the problem or conflict in preparation for action? Like I said before, I said that first I think about strengths. The strengths are that we got a a working bank for the let's say it ran from California to Canada. And it stopped in between Santa Maria. So that the bank in San Francisco isn't working to Santa Maria because it's not going from Santa Maria to did I say that right? I'm thinking about Mexico. I'm sorry, Dr. Perry. No, I'm talking about Canada. So San Francisco to Canada, let's say Ontario. And in between there, in between Canada, uh let's just do Mexico. So you got San Francisco, Santa Maria, and then Mexico. So it stopped between Santa Maria. The bank stopped at Santa Maria. Then San Francisco to Santa Maria, it doesn't work. But from the other gate part of Santa Maria to Mexico, it works because it's running one way. And so we would say, the strength is we have it running from Santa Maria to Mexico. This is just all fictional, non factual. We have it running from Santa Maria to Canada. And but we need to fix it from San Francisco to Santa Maria. Weaknesses would be we need to fix it from San Francisco to Santa Maria. Opportunities is we need to hire more engineers to get on a job quickly. And the last one, which is threats, it's a big threat not having the system up and running, so our system automatically shuts down the oil trade between San Francisco and Santa Maria. And that's losing money for us. And we need the money. We have to have the money. When we can't get the oil flowing clearly, we are losing money. So we need those engineers in there. We need those engineers doing real good with the crude oil banks. But to answer the rest of your question, the conflict, if there was conflict, there would be a conflict between the money, losing money. We would be losing money in the stocks and bonds, the stock market mostly, the stock market. And we can't have that because we are a big growing company. And that's what we'll do. I told you how we will prepare for action. How do you prioritize tasks when addressing diverse problems? Well, I prioritize the tasks as high, medium, and small. Low. High, medium, low. Low, medium, high. The low part. Let's say some paperwork got messed up or a monitor went out. You send an engineer out there to fix the monitor and fix the computers because we have a system that automatically tells us how much oil is running and the flow, and how much of it will be passing by what cities, and if the flow, the PSI, however they say. I'm just talking how it flows, the you know, how it, the way it flows, the pressure of how it flows. And you know, low is, you know, a monitor, you know, or paperwork, you know, sending engineers from, you know, our big distribution center from one sector to another, fixing minute problems. Then you got medium problems, you know, like maybe we need new filters, you know, like huge filters, you know, these are on site because we have like a lot of distribution centers. So we need to rechange the filters of that sector so that the oil, you know, can flow good. The pressure can flow good. Um, High is when, like I said before, for 4 questions, that the pumps fail. We need engineers in there right away to get, it could be a minute problem, like maybe something got caught in it, you know, like a bird or something, or some type of animal or something. Something got caught in it. Or it could be, you know, something, a pilot light went out, you know, it needs to be exchanged. But those are how I prioritize my tasks when addressing diverse problems. What method would you use to ensure that priorities and objectives are clear and are being addressed? I would make sure our priority is clear to keep the banks open at all times. If something happens, you close it, you work on it. Our main goal is to make sure we work on it and prioritize at least 3 to 6 days we work on it, and it should be up and running. If it's a major priority, it will be up to 6 months, but no longer than a year. And object, because it keeps the oil and it keeps our money away. And our monetary payments and, you know, everything falls when the crude oil banks mess up. That's why we have someone at every site making sure around the clock that stuff get done to keep that oil flowing magnificently. And priorities and objectives. The objectives is to make sure that we keep the oil clear, and we make a basically our objectives is to keep the oil flowing. Our priorities is to make sure we obtain those objectives and do those objectives the correct way. Our priorities is our objectives, and they have to be transparent, and they have to be addressed every day. When each worker comes in, new worker comes in, they have to address that with the new worker that comes in, that yes, this is being addressed. And now you have to fix XYZ, or you don't have to do nothing but ABC. And that is your shift for 12 hours or 14 hours. Okay, so I wow. I finished the asking, recording the answers to what you needed for the questions that you asked us for the project 3, section 4, I believe. So I was a little rocky on the first part and second part or questions, and I apologize for that. So I hope that you take care, teacher, and let this be a nice, smooth landing for the rest of the course until the 27th. Thank you and have a nice day, Dr. Perry. Oh, come on. I hope I can download this and I may need it later. So I have to keep it on here. I can't sit up there and edit no videos because so much stuff is downloaded on here. Audio only recording. Okay. Is now that I'm off of this crap, does Marathon Petroleum. Okay, it's done. Okay, hold up. Go into Canada. Somebody go into Canada. Why am I on Yahoo? That's why I couldn't find nothing straight up. Does Marathon Petroleum um does Marathon Petroleum crude oil goes into Canada? I think it does. Yes, I was right. Yes. Salt Lake City, Detroit. Yes. And I think it go to Mexico too. I think. While the provided information highlights Marathon Petroleum's retail presence in northern Mexico through Marathon and Arco gas stations, and mentions securing pipeline and storage capacities from Pemex to bring fuel supplies from the U.S. Its primary focuses on the it primarily focuses on the export of refined fuels rather than crude oil. Okay, I was wrong about that. But hey, okay. Now go here. What happened? Go here. What just happened? Thank God he didn't grade it. Usually he graded by now. Add a file. My computer. Drag. Please don't be more than 2 gigabytes. Oh, it's 21.22 megabytes. Oh my God. I should have put cloud. Someone told me to put cloud, but he'll get the picture. I didn't mean to do that. 2 more to do. Okay, so sorry about that, you guys. That was hard. That was hard because I had to think of that crap off the top of my head, and I had to think of what would a crude oil have, and I thought of all all different types of stuff. I read of it before. Don't get me wrong. I did read of Marathon Petroleum because I had to do something in the first project with it. So I had to read about it. And but what happened was yeah, so I forgot about when I forget I have to refresh my memory. That's the only thing I hate. So but I got 2 more to go, but I got like 2 or 3 discussions or some type of projects or something. It's no more projects after these 2. I think it's like, let's see. Let's just see. Just to see. Just to see. Hold on. Give me just a second. Are y'all on? Yeah, y'all are on. Okay. Now I should go back to projects. That's where I'm going. 3. Got all this to do. And I'm here. So let's go here. Nope. I got this. That is so weird. Hold up. After this, let me write the teacher because I'm confused. That's half of the school week. The school month. That's going into like June 15th or something. Email him. Oh man. Why are they doing this to me? I'm gonna send an instant message. Hey, if we only have 2 projects left, then what, comma? I hate when I say when you write you're like tums. Hey, if we only have 2 projects left, then what dates do we retire the class. Okay, I sent, he's not online. I think he lives in Alaska or something. 6 hours. Okay, you guys, I am about to get off of here. I appreciate you guys who were watching me and coming on here to watch what I do. I appreciate it very, very, very passionately. I hope I get a good grade. I'll keep y'all update on that. I kind of crashed it in the beginning because I had to figure out what I say and how I should word the petroleum marathon, the crude oil and all that. You know, that I wish you have to fish around to see exactly what places of crude oil stations or distribution centers or companies that they keep the places that it runs into. You know, you see all those little towers, those circular towers, and all of them, you know. And then it's like one type of pipeline, and you gotta fish around for that information. They don't just give it to you, you know, probably for security purposes because somebody blew up the Kremlin pipeline or the something pipeline. I don't remember. Um, it's very, I don't even want to talk about that. Let me not even get into politics right now. So, yeah, I want to know what it's called though. I'll look it up myself. Anyway, it wasn't the Kremlin. It was called something else, but it was connected to Russia. So, with that being said, let me get off of here. I will talk to you guys later. Y'all, I appreciate you guys for watching me. We're going to have a good show on Monday. Tomorrow, we're going to talk politics. I'm caught up with my work. He's going to be doing it tomorrow, grading everything tomorrow or the next day. And so I have an interview and I have to write this lovely young lady, beautiful lady, Shirley Chateau. I have to write her about a lady that wants to be interviewed, but that's what I'll do. So I got possibly 2 people to be interviewed. His interview is going to be on the 6th if he shows up. So yeah, take care, y'all. Be safe, and I'll see y'all guys another time. Bye. Oh, wait, let me set my outro video. Where is it at? Where is it at? I had to take it off. Okay, bye.
Never waste my time, you all I want.